Today is September the 10th, and this is part 18 of our study of the ministry of Jesus. Well, yesterday we looked at Jesus as he healed the nobleman's son. He was in Cana, and the nobleman's son was over in Capernaum. And so now today we want to look at Jesus as he goes back to his hometown. This is found in Matthew 13, in Mark 6, and Luke 4. So I'm going to try to put them all together for you this morning and just tell you the story about what happened as he goes back to Nazareth. Now remember, he grew up here. He lived here until he was 30, lived a normal life, did no miracles. He was just a normal person up until he began his ministry at age 30. Now he goes back to Nazareth, and on the Sabbath day, and by the way, the Sabbath day is not Sunday, it is the seventh day of the week, which, as we count time, is Saturday. He went to the synagogue, as was his custom. Now, the synagogue is not made by God. God did not order them to have a synagogue. Synagogue began when the Jews were in Babylonian captivity for 70 years, and they began to meet together. And obviously they met together on the Sabbath day because they couldn't work on that day, and that day was free, so it was not breaking the Sabbath for them to meet together. So they met in synagogues, and during that time they would read scripture, they would have some singing, they would have someone speak. And our churches today are not patterned after the temple, it's patterned after the synagogues. Now, God never commanded us or anyone, the Jews or anyone else, to meet on the Sabbath day. That was done because that's what they did when they began the synagogue back during Babylonian captivity. So now Jesus goes to the synagogue, as he had done many times before, as he lived there for 30 years. And they had heard about what he had done down in Capernaum. So they gave him the scroll to read. He was designated to be the reader that day. And he opened up the scroll. Now remember, it says a book, but this book was a scroll. There were no chapters or verses in it. So he found the place which today we would call Isaiah 61, verses 1 and 2. And he read that. And I'll read that to you today. This is what he said. The Spirit is what he read in Psalm 61, Isaiah 61. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, recover sight to the blind, and to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. Now what I want you to see is, he said, the Lord has anointed me. The word Messiah and the word Christ both mean the same thing. Messiah is Hebrew, Christ is the Greek. They both mean the anointed one. Now, to anoint someone means just they poured oil on their head, special oil. Priests were anointed, kings were anointed. They were anointed to set them in their position. They were set in position as a king or as a priest. It was sort of like, we'd compare that maybe to an ordination service today, where a person is placed in a position in the ministry. Now, what he's saying here is, when he read that, he has anointed me, he's saying that God has anointed me. And he goes on to say, and he rolled the scroll back up, gave it back to them, and he sat down, and everyone was looking at him. And he said, today, this has been fulfilled while you're here watching. This fulfillment. I am the anointed one, is what he was saying. I'm the Christ. I'm the Messiah. And they all marveled at what he was saying. And then he went on to say, a prophet is not without honor except in his own country. Well, look at that. Our time is already up this morning. So we'll have to stop right there for today. And we'll pick up right here and we'll see what else happens. Exciting time is about to happen. So until then, I hope you have a great day today. God bless you.